Like it's bus rolling in Memphis, shuffling my walk.
Hey, how is it going?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Mr. Donn Wyatt, singer, songwriter,
Woo!
producer, phenomenal human being, and he's here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You are so amazing to have this show. I'm so glad to be on it.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to share some of your music today that you've written.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much.
So, Donn, there's so many things, we decided to have you back on because we had so many people who really enjoyed your interview last time. And they said, yeah, they did. And they said, hey, when are you going to have Donn Wyatt back again? So here you are, and here you are back. And one of the things that
Party, baby.
one of the things that they really enjoyed was the power of encouragement, your light. And I know when I first listened to your music, there's just a natural joy within the music that you write. And can you share a little bit about where all that comes from?
Well, growing up in a musical family, my mother from Memphis and Detroit, and my father from California. And my father was first called baritone singer in many sessions and everything else. And my mother was the Strawberry Woman in Porgy and Bess, and they met singing with Nat King Cole, and people like that were around, Duke Ellington, and all the cats that were bad, as I should say, like badass, were always encouraging. As a matter of fact, one of my names, they named me after Nat King Cole, Adam, Nathaniel Adam Cole. So it's so, my parents are so awesome. It was kind of like a hard thing for me. I mean, I love what they did. My dad, the lead singer of the Creative Source, on Sussex Records, Clarence Avant's label, and he took me around to the studio as a kid, and there was nothing better than that to me. He was produced on Atlantic Records from Nelson Riddle, you know what I mean? So my father really encouraged me to just do it all. And I even played trumpet. He would get mad if I wouldn't play my trumpet. I don't want to play the trumpet. But yeah, it was just a lot of encouragement and loving for my family and all my family and friends. When I lived in Memphis, shout out to Orange Mound, and coming home, my grandmother in Memphis was really special. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love that lady. She made her transition, but man, I'm just telling you, man, there's so much encouragement.
Now, I know that you have a long lineage of music in your family, and you had, was it an aunt? Who was it? Frantic Faye? Can you share that? Because I find that so fascinating, and it.
Yes, my great aunt out of Detroit, shout out to the D. Her name, they called her Frantic Faye, and she was a pianist and a singer. And she made these cooing noises when she played the piano. You can look her up on YouTube.
I
Frantic.
know. Andy, I know this. Andy is helping us out tonight. You
Hi,
know,
Andy.
is it possible that we can play sometime this show today a little bit of Frantic Faye? I know she's on YouTube.
That'll be nice.
If we can, I don't know if Andy can hear us, but anyways. Oh, and okay, we're playing your song.
This is my new single. It's called All My Love's For You. It features Nate Watts on bass, who's a very powerful spirit. Enjoy. Hi, everybody.
My love is for you, just as sure as the skies are blue. I love you, honey, you know that I do. It doesn't matter where you are, or how far, you're here in my heart. Yeah. I'm always there for you. I'll always be there for you. My love is for you, sweet honey. It's true, so true. My love is for you. All my love is for you. All my love is true. It's true. It's true. It's true. My love for you. All my love is for you. Just as sure as the sky is blue. I love you, honey. Know that I do. Know that I do. It doesn't matter where you are, how near or how far. You're here in my heart. My love is for you, in my love. I always strive for you. I need you, honey. I want you to be here forever. In love with you, love with you, with you, love, I love for you, all my love's for you. All my love is true. It's true. It's true. My love is for you.
Wow.
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 So cool to hear my song like that. Thank you so much for playing it.
What was your inspiration behind that?
You know, I think of the Lord telling me, all my love's for you. A lot of times I felt like in my life, like everyone, I've had ups and downs in life and music business and everything else. but I can always look to God and say, and he knows what it is that I'm going through. And he says, my love is for you. And I also wanted to say, in the song, I say, I need you, honey. I want you to be here forever. In love, we do. And for me, I always thought that when you make marriage vows, it should be, why not say it together? We do. There's a lot of things we just do out of ceremony to make it official and whatnot. But as long as we both say we do, that's how I look at it. We do. And instead of I do, or you don't, and I did, we do, So I had to put that in there in the song.
That is such a great attitude and positive perspective in any relationship, really. In love we do. I find myself when I am doing something and I'm not doing it out of love, I'm maybe forcing the issue or angry or upset. If I just can pause and just give it space and then come back in love, then there's always a better outcome with any given situation. So, yes, I am confirming with you, in love we do. In love we should do. In love I try to do, and I could see that's why people wanted you back on here to share your song. And oh my gosh. Okay, Nate Watts on that bass line.
Woo!
Woo!
I got to tell you about Nate.
Tell me about Nate.
He went to Detroit and he laid that track and he sent it to me, it's a COVID recording, ladies and gentlemen. I'm playing, I produced and all the tracks and everything, and the drums and everything that's on there. I tried to make it sound as real as possible. And then Nate got on and just made it explode. And he called me after he did the track and he said, hey man, I'm going to need my bass track back. That one was too good. I shouldn't have gave you that good one like that.
I'm going to need my bass track back.
He's great. He's a great cat. He's got a lot of great, anyone that knows Nate, he's got a lot of great expressions, you know what I mean? And I won't, maybe he might be writing a book, so I won't say them all right now, but I love that cat. He's a great guy. Great guy.
Well, you're so blessed to be surrounded by so many phenomenal musicians yourself, growing up in the industry, and then true friendships with so many amazing musicians.
I sure am. It's a beautiful thing, and all of these people showed me I could see the difference. Have you ever heard the expression the truth rings? When you get around, there's a lot of famous musicians and artists and everything else that are just the real deal. They do things the right way. And there's other ones that are stars that don't do things the right way, and they don't treat the people right. And I've had an experience on both ends. But you're trying to make that money, you're trying to keep everything cool. When I was a kid, my first job was as music director for Bill Withers, and I put a band together, mostly of my friends from Berklee College of Music back then. And it was a fluke how I got the gig, and so it was my chance. So I was going to make sure I had the best cats. They could read, they could play, the whole thing. So as a music director, I had the right kind of vehicle under me. And we were opening up for Jennifer Holliday. All the Bill Withers cats, Wabby Da. We used to say Wabby Da to each other. It was a phrase that Bill he heard, and he put in a song when he went to Africa to watch the Ali. So we were opening for Jennifer Holliday, and they used to put us. It was a theater, but they would make us set up in front of the curtain of the theater. And if you see the curtain, we'd have to put the whole band on the front edge of we were on like the edge of the stage. And some of
Wow.
the stages would dip under. I don't know whose decision that was.
Mhm.
But then we started realizing that, we weren't really being treated with respect. He's Bill Withers,
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He won almost every award in life except maybe two before he left us. And he told me about it. He showed me half of them. So we were supposed to be working together. He wasn't planning to we have reunited, and he wasn't planning on going nowhere. But
Yeah.
he told me, man, Donn, don't worry. The real motherfuckers are not like this. And I needed to hear that as a young man. It's like, is everybody like jacked up? It's all cutthroat, music business. But then I found out over the years, there's a lot of great people in music that can be friends and encourage you. And I've been encouraged by all the best,
Yeah.
and they inspired me to trust my voice and to believe in myself. And it just took a while. You know what I mean? It just took a while, but I'm glad that today, I am where I am, and I still have an opportunity to let the world hear my music. You know what I mean? And I thank you so much for
Definitely.
having me on the show.
Well,
Beautiful.
definitely. Your voice is very powerful, and that song is very soothing and inspirational. And the chords on All My Love for You, the first time I heard it, I thought it was so reminiscent of Donny Hathaway. And it's so dreamy and soothing, and definitely you can feel that it's inspired. So will you have more music coming out? Will you have more?
Yes, I certainly do. I chose this song as a first single because all these years I was just determined to try to sing like my mother and my father and my brother, Kevin Wyatt.
Hmm.
Shout out to Kevin. He's out there in Denmark living with his family. But there, a lot of the work I was doing to survive, well, it seemed to be a lot of people that I just got the perception that they were like discouraging me.
Hmm.
So I finally had to just get off of that train, and God just said, "Go home, and just be as big as you can be." You know what I mean? And it's I get there's so many great people in the music business. And another friend today, she texted me and told me that she really dug the song, and I was just really, she has really OG ears. She said, I
Hmm.
don't know about that, but
Hmm.
I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, but she's big time,
Hmm.
and that just happened today on the way here. So it's beautiful. Mary Clayton, my godmother, just came out with a new song, um, a new album a couple of days ago, and it's called Beautiful
Scars,
Scars.
beautiful scars. Hmm.
And I spoke to her the other night, and she is so excited. I mean, if you hear this song, just look, go get it. Beautiful Scars. Uh, Man, her story is tremendous. And
I did hear it.
her husband used to be my mentor, and he used to always say, "Hey Donn, everything's cool." Her husband, Curtis Amy, was music director for Ray Charles,
Hmm.
and that's quite a big feat. Ray Charles was like the baddest ever. You know, I don't care what nobody says. Ray Charles was the baddest ever. So if you ever look back on tapes of how he was coming, well, I have to say, Nat King Cole and, Ray Charles wanted to be like that, I heard, when he first came out, and he kind of found his own voice. But Ray Charles kind of mentored Quincy Jones. Ray Charles mentored a whole lot of people he was just so amazing. He just gave and gave and gave. But whenever you saw his show, it was amazing. So I was playing, I think, with Gerald Albright in
Mm-hmm.
DC years ago on the show, and we were opening for Ray Charles, and I
Oh,
got to see him for the first time. I stood on the side of the stage and watched him.
mm-hmm.
Goodness, you know, if anyone that doesn't know who Ray Charles is, I mean, he was blind. The cat was like he was bending notes on the key. Wow, he's so sensitive, and he could do anything with his voice.
You know
And
what's interesting is that people who cannot see or are differently abled, that their other senses heightened. So there's so many phenomenal musicians that that their senses are heightened. As far as maybe their emotions. We're just not regular folks.
yeah, I hear that. It's like if you have something missing, you might be stronger in some other area.
Exactly.
You look at was it Jose Feliciano? He was blind, right?
Yeah.
Was it him?
So,
I don't want to get his name wrong, but
mhm,
he was badass. Stevie Wonder, of course.
mhm.
He is always, I say, ABTC about Stevie Wonder. That stands for always been the cat. He's always been the cat. And
Yeah.
I looked up to Stevie like many people.
Mhm.
Take music. When I was in school at Berklee College of Music, it was really funny. I would get the sheet. They would have the sheet music of his songs, and I realized that you couldn't write that stuff down. I mean, I have a great ear, so I would listen, and I would play what was on the paper. I was like, "That's not what he's saying." And I'd go to the teacher, this ain't right." So he was singing stuff that you couldn't even write down on paper at one point, because the publishing companies weren't hiring people that could hear the notes. So they would just straighten out the notes and put, Do you have a favorite Stevie Wonder song?
Oh my goodness. I love them all. I mean, what's not to like about Stevie Wonder?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is not to like about Stevie Wonder? And he's phenomenal. I mean, I would love to have the opportunity to meet him one day. I see him pass by at NAMM every year. He goes to NAMM, and he's there's tons of people surrounding him, and sometimes I'm a little shy, and I'm just like, oh, there's Stevie.
He's ABTC, always been the cat.
He's
And I
always
had the pleasure of working with him briefly.
Mhm.
It was he had a house full of toys, and Ricky Minor called me, and I got to play with all. We were like the house band for everyone
Yeah.
from James Fox, Earth, Wind and Fire to
Mhm.
Fantasia, Mary Mary. But my biggest joy was to play behind Stevie, and he did the song Lately. Doo-doo-doo. And I played that little synth line
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, that's a great
Killing
song.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Nate Watts, who's on my song,
Mhm.
was and is still the music director for Stevie Wonder. So yeah, it's a good cat.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, music is it can turn you around in seconds. Your emotions, your feelings, it is truly one of the beautiful gifts. I always say, out of all the gifts that God could have given me, out of all the gifts God could have given you, Donn, He chose that one specifically for you. I'm so glad that you are sharing your gift, your songs are from the heart. They're
Yeah.
definitely divinely inspired,
If,
and
if
your
I,
voice
if I could
is
just
so
add,
smooth.
um, some people are texting me saying they're waiting for me to go live. So I guess I didn't
Okay,
share
you know what,
my
Donn?
page.
Don, we had some technical issues, and so what I did was I tagged you on the post, and so if you allow that to go to your page, then people will be able to see it.
Okay, I would have to try to figure that out. But I just wanted to talk about you
Mhm.
mentioned something. The power of encouragement is my thing that I love talking about these days.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, I idolized George Duke. I had a poster of him on my wall. He was endorsing Korg, and there was a Korg poster on my wall. And then I found out later he wasn't really even playing Korg. But I met him, and he would tell me. I started playing in his band because he hired me to play with the Hubba Bubba band with Anita Baker. We went on tour with Luther Vandross, Sinbad, Tommy Davidson. You know, we were playing all basketball arenas for about 6 months. So I ended up playing in his band,
Mhm.
George Duke band. So
Mhm.
and he called me a few times for the Clark Duke project, and I turned him down. Well, the first time I didn't turn him down. They picked another guy that Stanley wanted.
Mhm.
And the second time he called me, I didn't accept it because I was making more money with another artist. But I really wish I had done that with him because great chemistry and all that stuff means so much when you look back. There's so many great groups that we had such great chemistry, and then you end up, in other situations and it's not, not as cool. But George would tell me, man, Don, you got your own thing. Every time George would come out with a record in LA, people would think that sometimes they would think it was me, a few people, enough for me to notice. And I would call him and say, hey, man, you got a new single out. I haven't heard it, but people are calling me. And a lot of guys would call me Baby Duke.
What a compliment. Now, George Duke, can you tell us the story about how he linked you up with Anita Baker? I love that. I love that. If you could share that, that's a great story.
How did he link me up? Well, it was just my friend Rayford Griffin, who was the
Mhm.
drummer for the Clark Duke project. We were playing in these clubs. I met him in the club in Santa Monica, and he mentioned to me, Don, well, first of all, it was a down period in my life. And, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I was actually in Century City, California, moving furniture at a movie company. So
Wow.
I had a dolly and a rug, and I had to move furniture around the office. That was my job. And one
Mhm.
day I heard, I heard Ben So Long on the radio, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Wow, who was that?" And they didn't say who it was. So I went on my lunch break, and I took my check and I bought a Walkman. A
Mhm.
Walkman is a little tape cassette player for y'all that don't know. They don't
That's
even use them anymore. They use like
Mhm.
discs. They don't even use CDs anymore. But things have evolved. But it was a Walkman. I bought the tape. I put it in there, and I put the headphones on, and I started the tape. And I was just sitting outside looking at the sky on my lunch break, and it went blame, blame, right?
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that. And I over the years, it's amazing how anytime I heard some music, I've worked with almost everyone I've ever wanted to work with. And I've heard the music and I just looked up at the sky and said, like acknowledging God and saying, well, I'm here, I can do it. So, and next thing you know, Rayford suggested me to George, who was having
Mhm.
like a cattle call keyboard audition. And I went down there in North Hollywood and brought my raggedy keyboards and sat down and played. And, it was cool. I got home and I got a call from her manager and George saying, hey, man, I want you to do the gig. And I was like, cool. Little did I know that it was going to be such a big tour and all that. I had no idea. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I wasn't even worried about the money, you
Hmm.
know, where I was at. I had no idea what I was supposed to be getting paid or any of that kind of stuff. I did it. And matter of fact, the tour manager, Paul Cheveria, saw what I was making on this tour. They had trucks, 8 trucks and all this stuff. He saw what I
Wow.
was making. He gave me a raise personally. You know what I mean?
Because
You
you're
know,
that cat. You are that cat.
and every year, you know, the money went up, money went up, money went up. You know, that's how the game is. I learned a lot.
Hmm. Well, you have so many inspirational things that you're sharing today, and you're just a positive person. What about new artists? Do you have any recommendations or suggestions for somebody who's coming up?
Yeah. Um, I think it's always, it's not always necessary, but it's always of value to do your hit homework and get your voice together, you know, keep your body as an instrument, you know, and develop good qualities. We're talking about singers, but you could be anything to be an artist. But I would say do your history on and homework on who's actually done it and try to bring something that's original. And even if it isn't on the same level, as you see, you can get a following and have a hit record. You know what I mean? So just
All
believe.
things are possible. All things are possible. You
You
know,
never know,
you
man.
never know with it. That's what's so incredible about this business. You just never know what's going to hit, what people are going to like, and who or what's going to touch somebody.
And I'd like to also say, with that in mind, you know, being an artist with this song, All My Love's for You is my new single. It's out now. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify, Tidal. What else did I miss?
All
Amazon,
platforms.
all platforms, about
All
200 of them.
platforms. What
But
about your website? Can you
mostly
share
it's
your website with
important.
us?
What did you say?
Can you share your website with us, please?
Oh, yeah. My website is www.donn,
Mm-hmm.
Donn, Wyatt, WYATT.com.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's important that we support independent artists like me.
Mm-hmm. You
Bring me
know,
the money. I mean, one track is basically $1. You know, so it takes a huge following to actually make money doing this. So,
mhm.
but I cannot wait to perform this song and really do my thing with this. You know what I mean? Because I'm itching since COVID, man. I'm ready to. I've been playing, you know, but I'm really ready. I love playing outside. I love festivals. We have a
You're
few
quite
things
the
scheduled.
entertainer. You're quite the
Well, thank
entertainer.
you.
And yeah, and you go live. You've gone live on Fridays, and I know you have quite a little following on your facial Facebook page and your social media page.
Well, thank you. It's a nice little. I appreciate all the people that have been viewing.
Mm-hmm.
With when I was on your show last, we had over 10,000 views.
Exactly.
Just talking.
10,000 views.
Hi,
Chit-chatting.
everybody.
Right.
If you're there, I don't know what the deal is, but I can't see anybody who's on here the way this is.
Mhm.
But I really appreciate you coming. I love you all. I sent invites to a whole lot of people, over 200 people.
Wow.
So I didn't set the thing up right. So please hold it to my head, not my heart. You could probably check it out later, right? It'll be on later for people to check
Mhm.
out. I
Well,
appreciate it.
is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap it up?
I think you're so wonderful. You
Thank
know
you.
that you are an encourager,
Hmm.
and all your friends know you to be that way. and your spirit is so beautiful, and you're so gorgeous. And I'm
Thank
glad to
you.
know you. And I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. And your music is phenomenal.
Thank
So,
you. Well, we're
can't
going to share
do
my song, Be the Light. Andy, if we could share my song, Be the Light. I wrote this song for my children. My son Zachary was in the studio when we were writing this, and he helped with some of the lyrics here and there. And it was pretty cool the first time they played it on the radio. He was singing along with it. So
Yeah.
if you could play that for us, Andy.
I've seen a lot of giving, baby, and I've seen a lot of hungry. One thing's for sure, unspoken word. You gotta be the light you wanna see.
Be the light.
You know I'm shaking hands with the world, and I see them smiling right back at me. Deception by those wicked, wicked eyes. You try to take my side away from me.
Hold on, people.
Hold on tight, don't let darkness in. Don't let anything drive you to a life of sin. Have a little mercy, show a little grace.
So a little grace.
Brothers and sisters, we're all living in the same place. Love one another, be true to you. Ain't no right or wrong, just do
Just
what
do
you
what you do.
do. Can't you see it's more than a hopeful recipe? You gotta be the light you wanna see. Hold on tight, don't let darkness in. Don't let anything steer you to sin. Have a little mercy, why don't you show a little grace? Brothers and sisters, we're all living in the same place. Now that I've seen what real love can do, it gives me the
Give me the strength.
strength to see my visions through. So hang on tight, there ain't nothing we can't be. You gotta be the light you wanna see. Ooh, hey. Talking about the light. Be the light. Be the light you wanna see. Be the light you wanna see. Ooh. Be the light you wanna see.
Oh. Well, I want to thank you so much, Don, for coming on my show. Is there anything else you would like to say before we hit the road?
That is a powerful song. You know, just be
Oh,
the light
thank
you
you.
want to see. You know, man, there's so much. I just thank all the people that inspired me to trust my voice, to inspire me to be better, be a better man, uh, be a better son to my mother. Those
Mhm.
people that really have inspired me to be a great musician and just, man, just be bad, Don. Just don't dim your light. You know,
Don't dim your light.
don't dim your light. Be the light you want to be. And Curtis Amy used to say to me, man, Don, always play your shit, man. Sorry for the bad language. But, you know, be the light. Don't dim your light.
Mm-hmm.
And be the light you want to be. It just
That's
takes
right.
one at a time to be this light. And with all the things that we're facing today, that's in the media, with so-called white and so-called black people, that we are in this sphere of, you know, basically wizardry and witchcraft, because we keep hearing that another black kid was killed, another by a white police officer. My heart goes out to those families, the Wright family, all the families. The Breonna Taylor one really took me hard, that you could be in your place and somebody
Yeah.
comes in there and shoots up the place. So I don't believe that God made black and white originally. That was something that was created for a reason. But, you know, be the light and try to seek and see the light and see the truth, the spirit of truth in everything in your life. And the world can be a better place, starting with you and starting with me.
That's right. That's right. It starts right here with us.
Yeah.
We'll allow that light to radiate on others. And every day we wake up, we have a new opportunity to get it right and to love unconditionally. So I thank you again. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you so
on.
much. Thank you, Andy, and thank you so much. And it's been a gas. Thank you so much. I am really hungry.
Well, you go fix yourself a plate. And Andy, we're going to take it out with Memphis Hotline. And thank you all for dropping by today. We had little technical issues here, but we prevailed. We problem solved and we got it together. So thank you so much. Thank you, Donn.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot, baby.
This morning, shuffling my walk.
Woo!
Hear the city talk. We got a hotline. We got a hotline. In the city, but you can't get Memphis out your
Thank you
mind.
all. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Second Street and Bill, WC Handy, and the Blue No Bar and Grill. We got a hotline. We got a hotline. Ordered another city, but you can't get Memphis out your mind. Make you greasy like my blues. Don't you know Mississippi's calling you like a freight train calling you?